Inside Downing Street, an unexpected confrontation has sent shockwaves through Britain's halls of power. During a private state event, Prince William reportedly walked out on Prime Minister Keir Starmer after delivering a message so bold and emotional it left the room in stunned silence. Now, whispers are spreading across the nation. What did he say? And why could it change everything for the monarchy and the government? It all started with what was supposed to be a routine meeting. Keir Starmer invited Prince William for a briefing on Commonwealth relations, but what followed was anything but routine. Sources say Starmer took the opportunity to push a bold agenda, urging the royal family to modernize its messaging on immigration and diversity. But what truly ignited the crisis was a pre-written government statement he handed to William, a draft the palace was expected to endorse. William read just 3 paragraphs. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The fury in his eyes said it all. "You want me to read propaganda?" he asked. "You want the future king to gaslight the British people?" And then, without another word, he walked out. As he reached for the door, he turned back one last time. "My grandmother spent 70 years staying above politics. You've just made that impossible." The door slammed. The sound echoed through the halls of Downing Street like a cannon blast. Aides were stunned. Security staff said they hadn't seen anything so dramatic in decades. And then came William's parting words that are now etched in headlines. "I serve the British people, Prime Minister, not your political agenda. My father warned me about men like you." 90 minutes later, Buckingham Palace issued a chillingly formal statement. The Prince of Wales had a prior engagement that required his immediate attention. It was royal speak for total disapproval. And within hours, Britain was on fire, politically, socially, and emotionally. The next domino fell quickly. Palace insiders reported that William, visibly shaken, spent 3 hours in his private office at Kensington Palace. He held a 40-minute phone call with King Charles, and although the contents remain secret, insiders say the king backed his son completely. But the story doesn't end there, because what Starmer did next escalated this from scandal to catastrophe. The draft statement William was asked to support included language that praised the cultural contributions of recent immigrants while downplaying concerns about integration. To the prince, it wasn't just politically tone-deaf, it was a betrayal of the Crown's duty to remain neutral. And what made matters worse, leaked documents now suggest that Starmer's team may have been planning to slash royal ceremonial budgets by up to 40%, redirecting funds to immigration services. To many, it felt like an all-out attack on the monarchy. This wasn't lost on the public. Veterans in particular erupted in outrage. Stories flooded the media. James Patterson, a 72-year-old Falklands veteran, sleeping on his daughter's sofa while waiting nearly a year for surgery. Sarah Mitchell, a former army medic, relying on food banks. Thomas Hendricks, an 80-year-old Korean War veteran, stripped of his disability support. These were the people who sacrificed for Britain, now living in poverty while new arrivals are housed in hotels with 3 meals a day. The disparity was grotesque and the reaction immediate. Social media exploded. Margaret Wilkins, a retired nurse and lifelong Labour supporter, posted a video denouncing the party. Her message? "I can't support a party that treats foreigners better than our own heroes." That clip alone gained over 3 million views. Within hours, thousands echoed her sentiment. Then, something happened that hadn't occurred in over 70 years. King Charles broke royal protocol. At a remembrance service in Westminster Abbey, Charles delivered the most politically charged speech by a monarch since the abdication crisis. "Those who served deserve our eternal gratitude, not bureaucratic excuses," he said. And then, the line that changed everything. "When a nation forgets its defenders, it forgets itself." Starmer, seated in the front row, looked visibly shaken. The message couldn't have been clearer. Royal insiders revealed that Charles rewrote the speech himself at 2 a.m., determined to deliver an unmistakable rebuke. Even the Archbishop of Canterbury said he'd never seen the king so resolute. The international reaction was swift. Canada's Justin Trudeau emphasized the importance of mutual respect between government and crown. In Australia, opposition leader Peter Dutton defended the British monarchy, declaring, "Thank God we still have the crown to protect constitutional order." In France, monarchists rallied outside the British embassy. In Ireland, the prince's composure was praised in major editorials. But inside Britain, the impact was even more dramatic. The pound plummeted. The FTSE 100 lost £42 billion in value within 48 hours. Labour's polling collapsed from 31% to 24% in 3 days. The hashtag #, Prince William was right, trended globally for 18 hours straight. TikTok, Instagram and Twitter were flooded with commentary. Protests erupted in 17 cities. In Manchester, 15,000 people marched through Piccadilly Gardens. In Birmingham, protesters blocked the M6 for hours. In Newcastle, veterans marched on Labour HQ. Meanwhile, senior Labour MPs began breaking ranks. Barry Gardiner refused to defend Starmer. Others began plotting leadership challenges in WhatsApp groups with names like Save the Party. Downing Street was in chaos. Ministers screamed at each other behind closed doors. Angela Rayner allegedly hurled a folder during a cabinet meeting. David Lammy admitted privately that the party was destroying itself. Deputy ministers drafted resignation letters. Health Secretary Wes Streeting went dark, cancelling all appearances. A sure sign he's planning a leadership bid. And then came the final blow. Leaked Home Office documents suggesting Starmer planned to gut royal ceremonial funding by nearly half. If true, it wasn't just political, it was personal. It would mean he smiled at state dinners while planning to undermine the very institution hosting him. Constitutional scholars are now warning of unprecedented consequences. King Charles could, in theory, invoke royal prerogative powers not used since the 17th century. Could he dissolve Parliament to protect the monarchy? One Cambridge professor says yes. We'd be in uncharted territory, she warned, but the powers exist. And while Labour burns, Rishi Sunak watches and waits. He appeared at a veterans charity event, delivering a speech that received nearly a minute of applause. Britain's greatness was built by those who served, he said. He didn't name Starmer. He didn't have to. The contrast was cinematic. While Starmer fought with the royals, Sunak honoured the country's heroes. Polls responded. Conservatives rose to 36%, while Labour cratered to 24%. Reform UK surged to 21%, drawing working-class voters furious over the government's priorities. Nigel Farage began holding town halls across Labour strongholds. His message? They chose migrants over veterans. And it's working. Reform UK has gained over 12,000 members in 4 days. So what happens next? Prince William is expected to speak at a Commonwealth youth event on Friday. Every movement, every word will be scrutinised. Insiders say his speech will walk a constitutional tightrope, measured but pointed. Meanwhile, Starmer faces Prime Minister's questions on Wednesday, where critics from every party plan to pounce. Labour's National Executive Committee meets Thursday, and confidence votes are already being prepared. This isn't just a political firestorm. It's a generational moment. One that could end Keir Starmer's career by the weekend. One that could restore Rishi Sunak to power. One that could shift Britain's future course entirely. So now we ask you, was Prince William right to walk out? Did Starmer overstep by trying to drag the crown into politics? Could King Charles really invoke emergency powers to protect the monarchy? Will we see an early election? Could Sunak return before spring? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story rocked you as much as it did us, share it. Let the world see what the mainstream won't show, because this royal rebellion is far from over. And what happens in the next 48 hours could change everything.